And so the way you deal with this complex emergent system is you start to look at clinical trials. Look at long-term trials and say, when I did this, what happened in the long run? From a metric I care about, whether it be a heart attack, whether it be living longer, whether it be lack of cancer, whether it be the presence of cancer. That's where we're going to make the big impact. But remember, I am the same profession that did this, and this, and this, and this, and this. We're proud of this. We're the same profession that 25 years ago said, take margarine, not butter. And if you look at the statistical figures, we killed almost 2.5 million people by doing that. So we are very good at making proclamations without data. We are very good at making recommendations. Why don't you take 2 of these and come back in a year? Yet most of it is not learned. You know, we came and listened to Eric Schmidt last night, and a beautiful talk back and forth. But Google, when you search today, it's better than your search yesterday. It learned where you went, and it actually improves its hierarchy, its ranking system. When you come to see me as a doctor, I'm the same as I was a decade ago. I've got no means to learn, right? I'm not creating, I'm collecting data, putting it into a database, learning each element, getting better. Well, there's a problem there. And that's a problem we need to fix, and we could talk more about that at the end. So I'm going to give you a few examples now where we got led astray in our field. So the one is exercise. If I ask most of you, because I say most because some of you are my patient and you already know this. If I ask most of you, how do you stay healthy? You say, I'm an hour at the gym. I put my DVD in. I'm working at the hour of the gym. And then you sit at your desk the rest of the day. Well, if you look at the data, sitting at your desk for the 6 hours is equivalent to smoking 1.25 packs of cigarettes. 1.25 packs of cigarettes. And so I look at that and I say, where did this come from? It came from an amazing study in 1953. This was a paper that wasn't referenced for over 50 years. Nobody cared about it. They did something that would make all of us in our field drool today we can never do again, which is they just went into the health records of an entire company and they looked what happened. So there were 26,000 workers in the British Transit Authority. Half of them were the bus drivers that sat 90% of the day, and half the ticket takers that walked around those double-decker buses and took the tickets all day. They had the same body mass index. They weighed the same. They ate the same thing, same percentage of smokers. They lived in the same neighborhood. They married similar spouses, almost identical, and they socialized together. Yet there was close to 70% less heart disease in the ticket takers compared to the bus drivers. There was 35% less cancer in the ticket takers. Your lymphatics that control your immune system, they run throughout your body. There's no muscle in their wall. So it's the rhythmic contraction of the muscle in your legs that actually make them move, that make that system, which is you and I, actually work. So when you sit there all day at your desk, it doesn't work very well. You know, I've got this metric, and there are a million of them on the market today, and they're all fantastic, that looks at how much I move during the day. And it works. There's a social component here, so, and it's competitive, right? I get home, and my son will tell you at the end of the day, my wife has more than me. I go walk the dog so I can beat her. You can't go to bed number 2. But this data is dramatic because most of our company, most of our lives, most of our everything is planned the other way around. So companies now need to say, listen, I was at a big pharmaceutical company in Switzerland, and they were so proud that everybody had a parking lot right next to where their office floor was, the same floor. I go, listen, if it were me, I would put the parking lot 5 blocks away. That's a positive statement for your employees. There are companies now that with these devices say, listen, if you move 30% of the day, we're going to give you a discount on your insurance. We're going to give you a discount in our store because there's a return on investment. That's a significant decrease in percentage of disease, and it matters. This is the coolest figure from that paper. They looked at profession and death. Well, it turns out the highest death rate was hairdressers and secretaries, because hairdressers stand in one spot and secretaries sit in one spot. The lowest, believe it or not, were gardeners and coal miners, because they're walking all day. And our notion is a little bit backwards.